Metal Tripping, metal stories straight from hell. Well, actually it's my car. Ooh, yeah. Alright, hold on a second. I need to hear that breakdown again. Bang your heads. This band makes me so happy. I can't tell. Howdy and welcome back to a brand new episode of Metal Tripping. My name is Alina and I'm gonna take you guys on a new metal trip. And this trip takes us to Melbourne, Australia. Yep, this country is one of the first that kicked COVID's fucking ass. Period. That is a beautiful thing. And of course, you guys know that, there are so many amazing bands coming from Australia. It's almost like the motherland of good heavy music. I mean, there's Parkway Drive, North Lane, Make Them Suffer, Polaris, I Killed the Prom Queen, and there is Future Static. You heard them a few seconds ago with their song Dead End. They are from Melbourne and released their banger EP Fatalist in April last year. And since Australia kicked COVID's ass, bands are allowed to tour again and play live in front of people. Like, real people. Crazy, right? I mean, the last show I've been to is now more than a year and a half ago. This is insane. So yeah, Future Static played some shows since they're out of lockdown. Reason enough to call Kira, Emmy, Jackson and Ryan and ask them about how it feels to be finally back on stage. And I definitely need to ask about some new music. I'm excited. So let's hope my cell phone can handle the distance to Australia. Make yourself comfy in my car. Enjoy the ride. I'm gonna call the guys right now. Hi, how's it going?
It's going pretty good.
Yeah?
It's going pretty good. What about yourself?
Oh, yeah, the lockdown is kind of like taking its toll. I'm so sick of it, but yeah, we'll get there.
How long have you been locked down?
Since November.
Oh, shit, okay.
Yeah, but you guys been in lockdown for a really long time as well, like?
So in our state, in Australia, we were the first to lock down. But because of that, now we're like the first to get back to normal. So it's pretty good. So like live music is coming back, which is fantastic.
Awesome.
So yeah, it was a tough lockdown. I think it went on for like 12 months or something like that.
My
longer,
God.
probably. Yeah.
Wow.
So it was a bit how you going, but we're towards the end of it now, so it's okay.
I'm a little nervous. I have to confess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just my
You got nothing to be
second
nervous
interview.
about.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's like a little nervous.
Yep. Because you're starting this because you've noticed that people in your community, they don't really have a lot of understanding of what's going on in like the heavy music scene. Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
actually, yeah. And I'm so sick of like always like explaining myself when I'm like, hey, I'm listening to heavy music, and you always get, oh really? Like, ooh. Okay.
Really?
Yeah, it's the people that I'm surrounded by, they're like, heavy music? Why? And I'm like, what? So
What do you mean?
What are you talking about? So yeah, and in Germany we have a lot of heavy bands around us, but I don't know, there's not that support that they actually deserve, and I want to change that.
Sounds rough. Yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah.
I get
Sweet.
the same when I say I'm in a band. Okay, what kind of music do you play? And it's like, so it's heavy, but then I have to try and like find the right terms to describe.
Yeah.
They don't really get it, so I just say, like screamo shit. And they're like, oh, okay, and it's like end of conversation. Cool.
I hate that
That's
question.
fine.
What genre do you play? I'm like, Okay.
Yeah, but why asking then? If you, I don't know, I don't get that. If you ask me what music I'm listening to and I'm answer your question, why do you get so offensive? They always say, okay, but you don't understand the screaming. Why you're listening to music? And I'm like,
Oh, that's
you don't get it. You just don't get it. It's like,
you do if you listen. It's fine.
Yeah,
It's not a big deal.
I don't like that. So thank you guys so much for taking your time. I said it before, I'm a little nervous. So just tell me, how does it feel to play live again in front of people, real people, and play live in front of crowds? How's that?
So good. So good.
Yeah. Oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, because through lockdown, I got into my own little bubble, and I got a little bit too comfortable in like these four walls. I'm like, nah, I don't want to go out. I don't want to go see people. Like, I just want to stay home. And then, the first practice, it was a chore. Like, it was a bit of a chore to get up and go to practice. But once I was there and we were prepping for our first show and then we played our first show, I got a little bit emotional. I was like, oh my God, I actually really missed this. I missed this so much.
Aww.
It was hard because we had a little bit of a break, not like a full break in lockdowns. Restrictions lifted for a little bit and we got like one or two practices in and then they went down again. And so it was hard not knowing for sure if we were prepping for anything in particular.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice. It was nice to come back and have a show that we had a goal for and have that like come through and actually play the show in front of people, like kind of in and out of different levels of lockdown. And you're not sure what's going on or when you can, play shows or release anything. You're just kind of sitting on your hands when, like, I think the best part of Future Static is our live show and the fun part is our live show. It was a struggle and it made it so much better when we finally got to do it again, and we've played a few shows back now and it's just every single one has just made me so happy.
Yeah.
So cool. Yeah.
We've been really busy, actually. Busier than I thought. in like the best way possible.
Yeah.
But it was like, we had been
It's a good thing.
very busy. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I talked to a band last weekend and they are still in lockdown as well. And we were like, my God, my last show I've been to is like a year and a half. Like it's so crazy. And I can't even like watch live videos anymore because it gets me it gets so emotional. Like I miss it so much. So it's a good thing that at least some countries are opening up. And one day Germany will be back. Hopefully on tracks. We will see.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So to get you guys ready for the big questions, I have some short questions for you guys that need fast answers. Okay. You guys are ready?
Sure.
Okay. First one: circle pit or mosh pit?
Ooh.
Oh, mosh pit.
I think mosh pit. I like mosh pits.
Yeah. Okay. Me too. Parkway Drive or North Lane?
Oh, I have to go North Lane.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Okay. Last show you played live?
Oh,
that was
well,
last
that was-
weekend. That was
Last weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
band called Nicolas Cage Fighter.
Yeah.
And
Wake the Blind.
Wake the Blind and Blight, yeah. It was
Wake the Blind.
It's a heavier show than we normally do. It was a bit of like deathcore kind of thing.
Ooh,
It was so much fun.
nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
We were like the odd ones out. It was a fantastic show.
Yeah.
Like the crowd was awesome.
We held our own.
Oh yeah. No, we definitely made it work. But we were like, the outlier of the lineup.
Okay.
It was great.
Yeah. Was it in Melbourne though, or where was it?
It was.
It was
yeah.
in Melbourne. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Next question. Last show you guys been to?
The last show I went
Ooh.
to was one that Jackson's other band played. Loose End.
Oh.
Yeah.
Last Thursday was really good.
Cool.
And that was at the same venue, actually. That was
Oh.
The last show I went to was Weybridge. There's a local like alt rock band called Weybridge. It was their debut headliner show at the same venue again. But that was awesome. That was such a good lineup. It was so good.
Sounds good. Next question. Last metal song you heard in the car while driving?
Ooh.
I think it was Vatic What was it? What's the new song they released?
Through the eyes of the snake of a snake.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that friends of ours, and it's so cool. The new stuff they're releasing is sick.
Yeah, very very impressive stuff. I think it's either that or The Hammer by Kublai Khan. I think that was one of the two songs that I last heard in the car on the way over. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Best road trip you ever did as a band, like in a van or something?
We haven't yet.
No.
Okay.
I think the closest thing we had was when back before Jackson and Amy joined the band with our old lead singer, me, Ryan, and Bree all drove to Albury to see, which is like at the very edge of our state. It's like 4-hour drive.
Oh, wow.
To see Trophy Eyes.
Oh,
at like a tiny little like pub thing. It was great. It was so much fun.
Yeah, sounds so much fun. Okay. We got 2 left. 3 words that describe the sound of Future Static. Just 3 words. I know it's a tough one.
Okay. Well, I think it's melodic. It has to be melodic because it's not just straight thrash, or it's not just like straight beat down. I don't know. Fast.
Heavy, like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's heavy too straightforward because it has those like deep moments of like heavy emotional and heavy just like hardcore kicking ass.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, sounds good. Okay, and the last one, if you had to choose time-wise, past, present, or future?
Future. We've got so many plans that we're so excited for, and like it feels like kind of dipped our toe in at this point, and we've got so much to do, so much to go.
Yeah, I think so. I don't want to go back. I'm going forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, we're future static.
Yeah, right. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, that were the short questions. Let's talk about a little bit about your band and the band history, because your band name, Future Static, I think it's such an interesting name. And when I was preparing for the interview, I read in an article, you guys said that the name Future Static encapsulates the sound looking ahead while staying grounded in the present. And I think that makes so much sense, like listening to your songs and the lyrics, but from the personal perspective. I mean, we're living in such a fast-moving world, like there can be a bloody virus around the corner. How hard is it, or how do you guys stay grounded in the present? Like, especially when you guys were in lockdown, what did you guys do to be just like focused and being in the moment?
Well, to be perfectly honest, we sort of like the whole, because we were in Melbourne, and that was one of the, I guess, the most strict lockdown out of anywhere in Australia, I think, and in most cases, like a lot of places in the world. So we really, really couldn't go anywhere unless we absolutely had to. And I think that it just gave us time to sort of take a break from everything. And it was just, it was kind of nice to not have all of these deadlines creeping up and so many things to be stressed about. Yeah. So it definitely, that was a very disappointing thing to have all of those sort of ambitions that we had set up for this EP to be sort of dashed. That was very disappointing. But out of that came a chance to sort of, I guess, recharge the batteries a bit more and allow us to really sort of have a game plan together and, for when we actually came out of lockdown. Just go like a bull at a gate.
So cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bit of a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
But yeah, towards the end it got a bit too much. Like we needed to start moving again.
So you weren't even able like to meet in person, right? There were no rehearsing, no nothing, right?
No, for a large majority of it, we needed to stay home.
Yeah.
And we couldn't. What was the limit? Was it 5Ks or something like that?
Yeah, outside 5 kilometer radius.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unless it was absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like we had to do this. We had to do like Zoom calls and like check in with each other.
Yeah.
Ryan was an absolute machine writing music in that, like through that period of time as well. He had more motivation than like me personally. But yeah, so I think that's also really helped us hit the ground running as well. Like it was his ability to remain motivated through the first lockdown and second lockdown.
It was more the fact that I just had nothing else to do, literally. Like video games that I had, watched all the movies that I had. I'd pretty much gone through Netflix and Stan about 40 times over. Fuck, man, better write some music while I'm at it. But yeah, it's given me, in terms of songwriting, a lot of valuable tools in terms of like technical edge. I learned a lot about programs and just audio engineering in general, and also sitting down for an extended period of time and just nutting out an idea, as opposed to like recording an amp on a phone and bringing it to the guys and saying,
Wow.
hey, here's this 30-second riff, what can we do with that? But it really gives us a chance to sort of fully flesh out our ideas before we bring them to everyone. Just to make sure that they have a well-rounded vision of what we're trying to achieve. And once again, as Jackson said, it was a blessing in disguise to have everyone locked down like that. It taught us a lot about ourselves and the way that we write our music and our dynamic, which was really, really valuable. And I think we've taken a lot from that moving forward, and I'm sure the other guys have as well.
Especially because the last time when we were writing Fatalist, Jack and Jackson weren't really in on the songwriting process. Ami's only come in the past few months, so to have that fresh start, fresh team dynamic, as well as a fresh writing style has made all the difference, I think, and made us all a lot more excited to get into it.
Yeah. That sounds amazing. But were there like other hobbies you discovered during lockdown? Like, I don't know, knitting or something like funny?
Yeah. I was knitting anyway, but I went hard. It was keeping me sane. It was all I had. So I have a lot of new jumpers and toys and all sorts of stuff.
I said you've knitted all these like little like dinosaurs as well, and like animals. They're adorable. Like they're so cute.
So if anyone wants some, let me know.
Alrighty. So should we just go back in time and just how did you guys meet? Like, when was that and where?
Kira and Ryan, you should take the first bit of this question.
So we met, we were both separate friends of our original lead singer. I knew her through dancing when we were little, and then we went to school together, and she and Ryan did drama together when they were kids.
Nice.
And then we met Jack and Jackson, and by extension Ami, through playing shows with their other band Loose End. And then when our old drummer left because she had a real world job that meant that she couldn't do band stuff as much anymore, and we were writing heavier stuff, we kind of played it for the boys, and they said, hey, we want in on this. And so we said, well, now we have a spot for you, come on in. Yeah, exactly. And then we always knew that Ami had a beautiful voice, and so when Bree decided to leave the band, Ami was the first person to put her hands up, and we were like, oh yeah, it's worked really well.
As soon as I heard Bree left, I was like, oh my god, I really want to be in this band.
I think it was like 3 days after we announced it.
It was so hard to like hold off for 3 days. I was like, oh, it might be a bit like, how you going if I but too much in your face if I said it literally as we posted it. But can I replace that? Like
that's it. And like we and that was during lockdown, so we had no idea what we were gonna do as a band at that point. Like we knew we were gonna move, but we didn't know in what form or whatever. And so every time Ami expressed interest, we would just be like, oh, we don't know.
Yeah, not at all. Gave me plenty of time to learn how to scream at least.
I don't think I'm ready for a relationship right now. This is getting too serious.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically.
Okay. But when you guys met, did you know how you wanted to sound like? Was it always this heavy part, or this heavy path you wanted to go, or was it like sound different styles of sound?
Oh my god, it was just like It's hard to explain. Well, like our sound has evolved organically according to basically who we play shows with and who we hang out with and what we're listening to, as most bands do. But we started out as like a sort of like a grunge rock band. Yeah, it was very much sort of like I guess Nirvana and Silverchair ripoffs with like a little bit of Pierce the Veil and like All Time Low. And then as things progressed and we started playing shows with people, the sound just got heavier and heavier. And I guess we wanted to push things further with our abilities. I think that's the main thing that I want to do when I'm writing music, is that I want to write, say, 5-10% above what my like current comfortable ability is. And so like, yeah, what if we put a breakdown here? What if I do like a solo here? And then like I can't play it, so I have to sort of practice and achieve that. So it's sort of like, yeah, but it's growing organically. And also with Jack and Jackson in the band, Jackson comes from a very sort of like hardcore background. Like that's his sort of like main bag, I would say. Do you reckon?
Yeah. Super heavy. Like my music taste is like super heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a right hand that is just second to none, really. So he likes a lot of like, I guess, technical metalcore and stuff like that. And so that's really informed what we're doing now. And also the stylistic shift with Amy in the band, we're still sort of like, we're still feeling that out, how it's all going to go according to Amy's influences and what she's used to. I think that's a really, really exciting thing for us to sort of go through and explore together, which is going to be really, really mad. So, yeah, I think it's just all really organically. We didn't know what we wanted to be or what we were going to be at all. We just sort of like, if people like it, then great. And if they don't, fuck them, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, essentially.
Kind of a bit of a daunting thing for me to start writing and hope that I write as catchy things as Brie, the last singer. A little bit. I got some big shoes to fill, literally.
But it's also, you're doing that to yourself though, right? Because we're not like making it into a competition.
No, you're not. That's just me. No, that's just me.
Because like when Amy came in, all of us were like, just do your thing and we'll meet you halfway and we'll mold the music around what you do.
Yeah, they always made me feel comfortable about that, which is good.
Yeah.
So, but is there something like, when can we expect some new music? So is there something around the corner that you can share, or maybe is there something?
Early days at the moment. We're in sort of like pre-production, but I think you can expect something maybe around mid this year, maybe around July-ish. Is that?
Yeah, that's what we talked about.
That's what we're talking about.
No, that's. We need that's good to push, like July. That's,
now we've said it. Now we've said it on a German podcast. It has to happen.
Heard it here first, guys.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's set in stone. Yeah.
Anywhere between like July 2021 and like August 2046, around that.
Yeah, around there.
Yeah. That's when
it's not too far away,
Yeah.
But no, we have a number of new things coming. It's just a matter of organizing to make it happen. So and that's like the easy bit. We've done the hard bit. It's just it's not too far away.
Okay. Oh, that's amazing. But let's talk about your EP, Fatalist, a little bit more. You released it like a year ago in April. So COVID chaos.
Yeah.
And the title, like, there's a song called The Fatalist, and you named the EP Fatalist, and it's so it fits like the situation like perfectly, because if I'm correct, if you have the perspective of a fatalist, you believe that there are things that are happening and you can't do anything about that, right? Is it
basically right? Yeah. The idea of fatalism is Brie and I talked about this in the car on the way to recording, actually. talking about this concept of, it's more of a personal philosophy. So basically, the way we describe it is that fatalism is basically a self-fulfilling prophecy that's conceived by the influences in your life, say how you were raised, your environment, everything like that. And it just basically makes you act in a certain way to get an unavoidable outcome. So you're really doomed to repeat the exact same cycles of behavior, the exact same consequences, the exact same heartache, because everything, all of those actions were dictated from the very beginning of your life due to your environment and your upbringing and your way of thinking. And that really sort of shines through with the lyrics, especially on Fatalist. It just seems like it's a bit bleak, but we're basically sort of doomed to repeat our own self-destructive patterns of behavior, which is really quite poignant, and I think it speaks to a lot of people. Well, like, and that line, like, I've lost myself a few times, you know, it's sort of acknowledging that this has happened before because of those like self-destructive behavioral patterns.
Part of the going from want to fatalist, because want was kind of dealing with a hard situation, but it ended with a bit of hope.
Yeah.
But there wasn't, that situation going into fatalist hadn't really changed for Brie. There wasn't, it hadn't grown into something positive. So it was kind of dealing with the fact that she thought she dealt with this feeling, but it still hurt. So now what? That was kind of how it ended up.
Okay. Yeah, but it's a bit of perspective, right? I mean, it kind of makes life a little easier in a way, like when you said, all right, it is what it is, you can't do anything about that. But I think when I listen to your songs on the EP, like you said, there's like this vibe, like there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I think there's you can have this little bit of hope. You can find that in the songs, and I really like that. And the little nerd that I am, I've been through the lyrics on the EP and counted the most used words. Yes. So I didn't cross out the repetitions in the chorus, but you used the word I 52 times, the word you for 22 times, and the word head 9 times. So I think, you can see it's a really like self-reflected record that, I mean, and it's a brave thing to do, I think, just to take a look inside and facing your demons and stuff. How hard was that, writing those songs?
I don't think it was particularly difficult for any of us instrumentally. We just sort of wrote banging riffs and sent them pre-production. But I could imagine that for Brie especially, she got herself into some very deep, dark places of her psyche when writing music in general, and especially for Fatalist. I imagine that took that was a really difficult time for her, just writing all of that heavy stuff down. So that was something that really, really impressed me, that she could like dig that deep and pull from those awful traumatic experience that she's had. Which it was just incredibly impressive that she could do that and still maintain some sense of composure. That was it was really incredible and inspiring. Like we just banged away on guitars and drums and stuff and like sat there and yeah man, this is sick. But Brie definitely had to go to a deep dark place for that. So you'll have to talk to her about it. But I think Kira and I could tell that it was getting a bit rough for her to sort of relive those dark moments in her life.
Incredibly brave to not only write them out, put them to music and release them into the world, knowing that like we were pushing for this to be a bigger record. We want to put our names out there. We want to be heard. And for that to be the stuff that she let people hear is kind of not something that everyone can do.
Yeah. But I think it's so important to be that honest, because all those, I can identify with all of those songs, because it's like we all go through those dark times, and it's so cool to know that you're not alone with all of this. So yeah, I just love this EP so much, because it really helped me out a lot. Through a lot of dark times. So
that's really good to hear. Thank you for that.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah,
I think that's an important part of the heavy scene in general as well. Like when musicians in the scene aren't afraid to deal with those heavy things, and sometimes that works out for the best and sometimes it doesn't, but having that sense of connection when people are struggling is something that's really special.
Yeah
I think it strikes a good balance between those universal experiences that we all have with a unique perspective, and it touches on things that maybe people didn't think about when they were going through the same thing. So they can look back on their own moments and say, oh yeah, I can look at it from that perspective, which I think is a really cool thing. You got to be fresh and you got to have new ideas, but you got to be relatable at the same time, which I think is a really good balance.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you guys opening the EP with an instrumental piece. It's called Growth. That is a song I really love that song, because it has this I can't even explain it. It has this like hopeful vibe in it. When I listen to it, I'm like, yes, this is so good. But it's the opener. Why did you choose that one as like the opener for the EP?
I think while we were writing it, it was always sort of going to be an intro track. Whether it would be a full song or an intro, it was always going to be the opener. Because I think on the one hand, technically, it was sort of a transition piece between Want and Fatalist, the record. So it was sort of easing people into this new heavier sound of Future Static. So that's why it goes from those sort of like those very clean reverb soaked guitars into this really heavy riff with like that sort of like Architect's ambient lead sort of thing. So that was sort of like, a literal shift in style. And also, calling it Growth is a very deliberate thing, because we wanted to show how we'd grown musically and emotionally. I think we started the band when I was 19 years old. I think Kira was 18. 19, yeah. We were basically kids not knowing what we were doing. And so basically with that, we wanted to say, all right, we've been around a few times. We made a lot of mistakes. We've done some dumb things, but we're coming back. We're more emotionally intelligent. We're all sure about what we want. And we're all just better in general as musicians and as people. And I think that's sort of reflected in Growth, the song.
Yeah. That is amazing. That sounds so cool.
You should hear them play it live.
Oh, yes, please. Come to Germany.
We'll come over.
Yes.
Yeah. I always watch the crew play that song before I get on stage, because it's just the instrumental, and I get to see it come from like the side, and it always just makes me smile so much. I don't know why.
Yeah.
So good.
I get that. Oh, wow. Yeah. So let's talk about touring a little bit. You guys been on tour at the end of March with Belhaven,
yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. And did you guys played some songs from the EP?
Pretty much entirely, like
just the entire EP, yeah.
Cool. And how was the reception been?
So we only played the Melbourne leg of the tour with Belhaven, but at the same time, I think that the energy between us, the artists, and the audience, it was incredible. As soon as we started playing Growth, you can tell that there was something really special about that night. I think there's not much else to say. Like, we love Belhaven as a band. They're friends of ours, and they're also sort of like my personal local heroes, as I'm sure they are for a lot of other people. So I was just mad. Yeah.
their guitarist was our producer for Fatalist.
Okay.
So he's extended Future Static family.
Nice.
So it meant to
Okay.
be able to play with them.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that show was awesome. We played 2 sets in one night because here there's still like restrictions in like venues and stuff like that.
Okay.
And so to get around like the venue caps that they've introduced, they put on 2 shows in one night, so they could have like the same amount of people, a little bit more. But yeah, so we played 2 sets. Everyone played 2 sets. To different crowds, which was really interesting. I'd do it again. It was fun. I'd do it again.
Yeah. Cool, I don't know. I was pretty sore the next day after doing two high impact jumping around stage stuff.
Yeah, but you go all out though.
I do.
Yeah.
Well, you guys do too though. Just have to do more cardio, as Coach said.
Yeah, cardio. There.
Okay. And are there any like pre-show rituals, after-show rituals, like, I don't know, warming up or having, I don't know, a shot of something?
Amy usually has a shot of something. The rest of us,
Jaeger.
yeah, there you go. The rest of us usually have a beer. I think Kira might have a drink or 2, but she doesn't really do it that much.
Jackson eats 2 full meals before every show.
Yeah.
I can't play hungry. I need to eat.
That's why we call him Jackie 2 meals, because he just wolfs them down.
I'm the opposite. I have to eat like, I don't know, just the tiniest amount so I don't pass out. But if I eat too much, it's so bad.
Other than that, it's just like the basic warming up stuff. You know, we do stretches.
Yeah.
We'll find a place a little bit before our set and just go through 2 of the songs unplugged. From the set. So basically, we've already played 2 of our songs before we've even walked on stage, and it makes us feel a lot more loose, you know, just more comfortable playing the song environment where we're at. So yeah, we've been doing that.
It's so funny though, like how hard it is to do that because I can't hear what note's playing in the unplugged fucking strings. Part of my language. And I'm just like trying to listen when the crowd's like kind of making noise, and I'm like, I can't hear where to start. Like,
all the other bands playing. It's sometimes hard to find a quiet place to do it. But yeah.
I think my favorite one was in the storage room at Whole Lot of Love. Like, we're surrounded by bottles of soft drink and stuff, trying to get through.
You got bartenders and other members of the bands coming through, like trying to pick up their shit, and like, and we're sitting there like trying to go through these 2 songs before we hit the stage, and it's kind of like, okay, right. So yeah, that was entertaining. Yeah.
Okay. Another nerdy question. Don't judge me, but I'm always asking myself, how about your ears? Like because my right ear is messed up since, I don't know, 5 years because I was standing too close to an amp, and now it's ringing. Like all the time I have this ringing sound in my ear. How do you guys do it? Do you have like in-ear monitoring or like hearing protection or something? How are your ears after the show?
When I joined Future Static, they were like, no.
It's so important.
Of the band.
Well, if you want to have a long career making sound waves for a living, you got to make sure you can sort of like hear them. You know, so it kind of makes sense. Yeah, unless you like, you know, Beethoven was kind of one of a kind. You can't really like recreate that. You know, can't go deaf and make, you know, great music. That was sort of a one-off, but yeah. Jackson runs in-ear monitors because he's got the click in and like some of the backs. Most of us just use regular earplugs, and it works pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So protect your hearing, guys. Everybody who's listening.
Artist and audience, protect your hearing. You can get really good earplugs that, you know, muffle
dampen
or
the sound.
You can get really, really quality ones that just basically turn the volume on live. If you or an avid showgoer or an avid.
You can actually just hear things so much clearer as well, to be honest.
Yeah,
like
I
even when I go to normal
Yeah.
shows, I wear earplugs most of the time now too, because I'm like, I can actually hear everything.
Yeah.
That's helpful.
Yeah. It's cool to use protection, kids.
Yeah. Use protection,
That's it.
kid.
That's what we're getting
In
at.
all kinds of ways.
Yeah.
Okay. So, guys, before I let you go, there's one last thing I need from you. Since this podcast is called Metal Tripping, so we're on the trip, right? And there's going to be a Spotify playlist with songs not only from the guests on the episode, but we need I need some songs that you want to listen to when you're on the road trip. So what kind of songs or bands you want to hear in that playlist? Just throw in some bands, some
I think
musicians.
each one of us would probably say completely different things.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
give it to me.
Exciting, yeah.
I want to throw in.
Can I
No,
go
you.
quickly?
No, you go. Go on.
For like the fifth mention so far, but I think we need some Loose End in there. So I would like to jump in Gordon Street by Loose End. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's cool. I'll take that.
Yeah.
I want to support like other local like heavy metal artists. So like a band like Starve or Vatic, people like that. I would like to see their songs in there. Because they have the potential to be like something big, and they just need like
Vatic's new
support
song
behind
is
them
mad.
to Oh my god, listen to Vatic's new song.
Oh, it's like Through the Eyes of a
Oh.
Snake.
I will.
Yeah, it's so good. I think you're gonna like
Yep.
it.
Okay,
Yep.
nice. Right, some other maybe I don't know some I don't know some death metal maybe some black metal or some metalcore some I don't know. Just give me some other songs.
Blight.
Just
Blind.
yeah.
Yes.
I think Crossfaith is always good.
Oh yeah.
With,
Ooh,
Japanese
yeah.
synth metal, it's sick.
It's fun.
Instrumental, heavy metal, hip hop, you'd probably say. Very cool. A lot of really cool guitar techniques in there, like the Weedly Deedlies.
The technical term.
Yeah, it's a technical term.
You can't go wrong with a bit of Suicide Silence. I think the Black Crown. Check out.
I mean, I think if I have to put something in, it's probably way too overdone at the moment, but anything Spirit Box.
Yes. Thank you.
Courtney LaPlante is my absolute life.
my God.
Like,
So good.
she's such an inspiration to me.
So good. Yes.
Yeah.
Spirit box
Also-
it is.
probably just the entire There Is a Hell album by Bring Me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably my favorite album of all time. Fight Me. Yeah, and I just love it so much. So just chuck the whole thing on and just listen to it.
Okay.
North Lane as well. North Lane. Discoveries.
North Lane. I like their album Alien was an absolute ripper. Yeah, so
Big
good.
fan of that.
Yeah. Okay.
Norma Jean's great if you want some like really like chaotic stuff mixed in with, like southern rock. That's pretty mad.
Loathe are really,
Yes.
really cool.
Oh, Loathe, yes. Yeah.
Chill but heavy. They're like really kind of almost stoner metal, but not.
Yeah.
Oh, Furious George too. They're doing some
Oh, yeah.
really cool stuff and great name too. It's sick.
Yeah, Furious George is cool.
Okay. Well, it's gonna be a long road trip with that playlist. I like that.
We might get to Germany and back with it. Who knows?
Yes. Okay, guys. I think it's time to say goodbye. Everybody who's listening to the podcast, go check out Future Static. They are amazing. Check out their EP Fatalist and all their other songs. Buy some merch, buy some CDs. Just support them where you can. Share it with your presence. My God, my English. I'm sorry. With your parents. That's the right word. Friends, family. I don't know. Just get the music out there. And I think that's it. for this.
Thank you very
so
much.
much for having
Thank you
us.
for having
This was
us.
great.
Thank you so
welcome.
much for having us.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sorry I was late again.
no worries at all.
It's all right.
That's definitely a reoccurring problem I have.
We just want to say how wild it is that that a podcast in Germany is liking our stuff and spinning it. It's the most surreal thing. So we really appreciate that. And from the bottom out, thank you for listening to us, appreciating all forms of local music. I think that's fantastic. So you're doing really great work. Thank you.
Thank you. Alrighty. So I think we just stay in contact and we hopefully
That would be
see each other
fantastic.
one day or the other on tour when you come to Germany.
Yeah. No, we'll be there next week. It's fine. Easy.
Yeah.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, stay safe, stay metal.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, you too.
Alrighty.
See y'all.
See ya. Bye. Wow, such nice people. So down to earth, right? I love it. Yeah, so sorry for the lame audio quality in some parts of the interview. There were definitely some dead spots on this trip. Sorry about that. But go check out Future Static. If you're living around Melbourne, go see them live. Check out their EP, The Fatalist, and other songs. I don't know, watch their music videos on YouTube, buy some merch, just get the music out there, show them some metal love, they earned it. And keep your eyes and ears open, there's some new Future Static stuff on the way. Last but not least, check out the Metal Tripping playlist with Future Static on Spotify. There you can find the band's favorite road trip songs we just talked about. So yeah, that's it for now. By the way, the next trip gets us to Moscow. No worries guys, it's not Russia. But Idaho. Yep, we're going to the States, so stay tuned for a new episode. Right now I'm gonna bless you with another Future Static song. This is the title track of their EP, Fatalist. Turn it up, stay safe, and stay metal!
Running out of friends to lose. Is it too much to ask that we go home soon? 'Cause my head is too tired from the parties we pay without you. And I'm thinking that maybe it's too late for telling the truth. I've lost myself a few times. I've given up on the faith that it's gonna turn around. I've grown up too much in the months that have passed. I've a lot left to learn, but I'm doing it fast. Guess I'm tired of fighting change, but I thought this would last. And I said it before, but this breakdown, it won't be the last. The last. I've lost myself a few times. I've given up on the faith that it's gonna turn around. I've gone and hit the ground. Can't pull myself up now. Sit back and watch me drown. It's 2 a.m. and I'm walking alone down some dark Melbourne street, and it all